Right, so in question 7, I guess we can enlarge that a bit. Right, so we want to find the center and radius of this circle. And as I've mentioned before, it's better to have x squared plus y squared, so on, rather than having 4 here. So if we divide everything by 4, like this, we'll end up with the same equation, except we've reduced down the coefficient to 1 now. So we'll end up with x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y plus 9 equals 0. 0 divided by 4 is 0. So now it's in a much more manageable position to be able to complete the square. So as we've talked before, we'll group the x's together. So we'll have x squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 6y. And I'll stick the 9 onto the other side and make that minus 9. We just push away the constant. We can leave it there, but eventually we'll move it anyway. So we might as well move it now. So at this point, we'll want to complete the square here and here. So we've got x squared minus 4x. So half of negative 4, square that, you'll get 4. So we're going to add a 4 here, plus y squared minus 6y. So half of negative 6, square, you're going to get 9. So add a 9 here. And of course, you need to add both of those numbers to the other side. So minus 9 plus 4 plus 9. Okay, so we add those together. So that negative 9 will cancel that 9. That will be leaving 4 here. So we complete the square here and here, which is already done. So we'll write as a complete square. So x minus the square root of this number, which is going to be 2, all squared, plus y minus the square root of 9, which is 3, all squared. So these are equivalent, equals 4. So then we can see the center will be 2 and 3. And the radius is going to be the square root of this, because this is equal to r squared. So r will be 2. So that's the answer for 7A. Okay, so question 7, we need to find the center and radius of this circle. We're going to do question B here. Notice that we have 9 as the coefficients of x squared and y squared. So let's get rid of those. It will make it nicer to complete the square. So divide everything by 9. That's the first step. So then we can cancel down. We'll have x squared plus y squared plus, now 6 on 9 will be 2 on 3 x. 9 into 18 is 2, so that's 2y. And I'll put, this will become 1, and I'll put the 1 onto the other side. So that will become negative 1 on this side here. So then let's group our x's. X squared plus 2/3 x plus y squared plus 2y equals negative 1. And now we'll complete the square on both x and y. Let's try that. So we'll have x squared plus 2/3 x. Now half of 2/3 and square that. Now the quick way to do this is multiply the 2 to the 3 to give you 2 on 6 squared. And 2 on 6 is 1 on 3 squared. So you'll get 1 on 9. So your number you want to add here is 1 on 9, 1/9. Okay, so then we will do y squared plus 2y. So half of 2 is 1 and 1 squared is 1 equals negative 1. And now we add our 2 numbers here to the other side. So we'll have plus 1, and plus 1/9, like that. So let's clear that out so we have a bit of space. So at this point, now we can complete the square. So we'll write that as x squared plus 1. Oh, I'm just recopying it, aren't I? So x. That was 1 on 9. So x plus the square root of 1 on 9 is 1/3 squared. Now, completed square here, we would write as y plus 1 squared. That -1 and 1 will cancel to give 1/9, which is 1/3 squared, isn't it? There. So now our center will be -1/3, -1, and the radius will be 1/3. This number in here. So that's your answer for question 7B. Okay, so in question B here, we have a diameter that has endpoints 2, 5, and 0, 3. And the best way to start thinking about this is to mark the points. And remember, the aim is to find the equation of this circle. So 2, 5 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's about here. This is 2, 5. There. And we have 0, 3. So x is 0, y is 3. So 1, 2, 3, about here. So this is 2, 5. And this is 0, 3. So these are the endpoints of a diameter. So we could put a diameter line in here, like that. The center of that will be the radius, won't it? Which is roughly here. So the circle is roughly going to be, well, we should put a perpendicular line through here to see roughly where it goes. So we're going to have a circle, something like that. So it should look like a circle. So your circle is roughly in this position, but the first thing we need to do is get the center. And your center is found by using the midpoint formula. So let's do that first. So the midpoint, so xm would be the x coordinates 0 plus 2 divided by 2, and the y coordinates of the midpoint would be 3 plus 5 divided by 2. So you're going to get 2 on 2, which is 1. Then you're going to get 5 plus 3, 8. 8 on 2 is 4. So that looks about right. So the midpoint here is going to be 1, 4. Okay, that's good, because this will be the HK from the formula for the equation of the circle. But now we need to find the radius here. So think about how we do that. This diameter will be the length, okay? And the radius is going to be half of that. So we have to use the length formula. So this is the midpoint formula. And now we need the length formula, the length of the line segment. And that's given by, remember the formula, y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared. So we'll just stick our endpoints into that. So that would be 5 minus 3 squared plus 2 minus 0 squared. So 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 squared is 4. Let's see, I just wrote something down incorrectly in my calculation there. So 2 minus squared is 4. Let's keep going. So you're going to get 4 plus 4, which is 8. And we can leave it as 8 there. Okay, so let's just check my calculations. 5 plus 3, 8. 8, 2 is 4. Okay, so this looks all right. Now, this is the length of the diameter, is root 8. Okay, but you want the radius, which is going to be half of that. So you've got root 8 on 2. But remember, root 8 can be simplified to be 2 root 2. 2 divided by 2, cancel the 2, you'll get root 2. So this is the radius of your circle. So your equation then will be, it would be x minus h, and h is 1, all squared, plus y minus k, k is 4, squared, equals root 2 squared. So the radius is root 2, but when we write our equation, this will become 2. So this would be x minus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared is root 2 squared is 2. Okay, so this is your final equation. And root 2 is your radius. And your center is 1, 4. Right, so question C, I basically did a drawing of our diagram. We just note that we have quadrant 2, which is this quadrant here on the top left side. So this is quadrant 2. We know our center is in this quadrant. The radius is given as 3, and the circle is tangent to the y-axis at 0, 4. So I marked 0, 4 here, and I made the circle tangent at that particular point here. So a center must be across 3 units. So in this case, the radius is going to be 3, isn't it? So given that information, we should be able to write the center down. So we come across 3 units, and then we go up 4 units because this point is 0, 4. So that center must be, sorry, -3 and 4. Yeah, don't forget we're in this negative quadrant for x. So this will be the center here. And the radius we can see is going to be 3. So our equation will be x minus -3. Remember, this is h and k. So x minus -3 will be x plus 3, all squared, plus y minus 4, all squared, equals 3 squared, which will be 9. So that's going to be our final equation there. Okay, so for question D, I've basically redrawn the picture here. We have the center being on line y minus 4. So the line y minus 4 is here, which is parallel to the x-axis. Y equals 4, actually. So that's the equation y equals 4, I should say. And the circle is tangent to the x-axis at -2, 0. So that is here. So your circle will touch at a point of tangency on the x-axis here. And then from that, you can actually see that the radius is this length here. Okay, this goes to 4. So the y value is 4 of the center. And we've come across 2 units from the origin. So that would be -2. So x -2, y is 4. So this will be the center. The radius is calculated as 4 minus 0, which would be 4. So that's basically 4 minus 0, which is the radius here. So your radius will be 4. Your center is -2, 4. So for our equation, we would have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is r squared. So x minus -2 will be x plus 2 squared plus y minus k is 4 squared, is r squared. R is 4, so this will be 16. So this is going to be your equation of that circle there.